Hello, I'm the programming coder, and in this beginner series of Python, you'll be learning all the basics you need to know in Python to become pretty good at coding and be well on your way to becoming a master coder. Now, don't worry if you're beginning coding for the first time. I will take you through all the steps in depth and slowly so that you understand everything you need to know and that so you know what to do by yourself without any help. So let's get started. First, we are going to learn how to install Python, and then later we will be learning about the print function and variables. So first thing you will want to do is type python.org on your browser, and it will take you to this window. Then you will want to click Downloads, and then there should be this button over here for download the latest version of whatever computer you're using. I'm using a Windows. You'll be maybe using a Mac or a Linux. And then just click this download button over here to download an installer. And then once you're done, you can open it. And then it will pop up a window over here. I already installed it, so it's saying upgrade, but you may have something like install now. So I'm just going to click this, and it will start installing. So after you're done installing, you should see this, setup was successful, and then you can click close. So once you've installed Python, you can open it up either by typing in the search bar here or by looking through your apps. So I'm going to use the search bar, and you should type in idle, and you should get this app idle, and you can click on it to open it, and this window will pop up, and you can see here, this is where we'll type our commands. So the first thing we need to understand is that these three arrows over here are the command line, and the command line is used to type in functions and commands and variables, what we'll be learning today, basically to make the computer do what we want it to do. So I could just enter and it will just make another command line for me. So let me type up the print function first, and then you can see that first I type up print and then I put the parentheses in here to make it a function. Basically, it doesn't work if you don't add parentheses, and plus you need parentheses to put input into it. What I mean by input is that whatever I type inside here, that's the input. It'll make more sense once I type it. So if I type up hello world in here, you can see that I used quotation marks to mark it. Now, I won't talk about why I needed quotation marks yet, but it just makes the computer understand that this is a sentence and it's valid. It's not some random thing I just typed up that it doesn't understand. So it will output something that I wanted it to output. So if I click enter, this is the output, hello world. And basically, this is how the print function works. You type the print function with the parentheses, then you type in the input, and then it will output whatever your input is. So to make more sense of it, I can visualize it by using this badly written print function. And so this is a function, and then inside here comes the input. And I'll just write in because I'm really slow at writing, and then I can draw like another line here, and this will be the output of whatever the computer gets out of what we wrote. So this is basically how the print function works. And if I typed in something without quotation marks, like just, I don't know, an A or something, it will say invalid because A is not defined. Basically, we'll learn about this later when we talk about variables, but for now, we know about the print function. So now, we'll be talking about variables. And what variables are basically little code names used to define something else. So what I mean is, I could type up A equals 27, and then if I click enter, it won't show anything, but if I type up A, it's going to show the number 27. Basically, this is because I said A equals 27, so it has a value of 27 now, and 27 is what defines A. So if I typed up something else like B equals 10, I could type up B and then I'll just get 10. So B is defined by the number 10. And I could add the two together, and I'll just get 37. But you could also define a plus b to another variable, like c, for example. And if we click enter and I type up c, c will have that value of a plus b. Now, one little trick for typing variables more quickly is that you could just write a, b equals 27, 10. And then if I click enter, nothing like invalid, no errors. It understands that a is going to have the value of 27 and b is going to have the value of 10 because these are the two variables separated by a comma. And the first variable is going to get this first value, these two values. And this will be the first value that a will get, and this is the second value, and b will get it. Comments are used to label your coding. And how you write a comment is you put a hashtag wherever you are in Python, and then you can write anything you want. I could write this and click enter, and there will be no errors. And comments are very useful when you want to label code or show code to another person so they can see what you're doing. So if I had like print, and then I wrote a print statement of whatever, and then you could do a variable maybe. Oops, I don't know how to spell very well. And then you could make a variable. So that's it for comments. They're used to basically label code. So now it's time for your assignments. So the first assignment is to print your name using the print function. The next assignment is to make two variables equal to two numbers on the same line. And then the last assignment is to make a variable equal to the sum of two other variables. So now it's time for the answers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use comments to label the questions. So question number 1 was to make a print function that prints out your name. So what I would do is I would take the print function, then I'll put the parentheses, and then I make my name in quotation marks in the middle. And my name is the programming coder. That's my actual name, but I like it because I love to code. And now, time for question number 2, so comment number 2. And this question was to make two variables equal to two values in the same line. So remember the commas, you do a, b equals two values separated by commas. So I'll just do what I did previously, 27 and 10, and then that would be the answer to the second problem. And then the answer to the third problem would be for the question, make a variable equal to the sum of two other variables. So what I did previously was I said c equals a plus b. You don't have to do this. You could use different variables. It's just you have to have this type of formatting. And these are all the answers to the assignment.